Welcome, everyone, to December 2nd on NDB Media and Talented Universe. Thank you all for coming. Before we get started, introduce our special guest today. Liz, how are you faring this wonderful day?
I'm faring. I have 99% of my Christmas shopping done. I just need to wrap it now.
99. I'm impressed.
99%.
I am impressed 100%. Now, Marcia, how are you doing? And then will you introduce our guest after you've done with your introduction?
I am. I'm stunned. I'm jealous of Liz's shopping. I've done zero, but I am here in Northeast Florida, and I'm happy that we have escaped hurricane season pretty much, and I'm ready to introduce our fantastic guest today, Kevin O'Sullivan. Hi, Kevin.
Hi, Marcia. Hi, Liz. Hi, Michael.
Hello.
By the way, my shopping, I'm at 0% too. I have to find Santa Claus to help me out for my wife and my daughter.
All right. Well, it's still early. It's December 1st.
Yes.
You got plenty of time. So
I always wait until the last minute, though.
Are you a last minute shopper?
Yes. And I actually go to the shopping malls. I don't get it delivered by Amazon. I still try to go to the mall, old-fashioned way.
Yeah.
Cool.
My daughter would appreciate you with that. She works in the mall right now. And Black Friday almost killed her. Literally.
Well, I hope she made money.
Yeah, she did. She works in a miniature store. So it's a specialty. Yeah.
Perfect.
Oh, cool.
Nice to be here.
Yeah. And I admired your purple shirt immediately when I first saw it. So I got to ask you, is purple one of your favorite colors?
It is. I like purple and I like light blue. I haven't decided which one comes first, but this is something that my wife selected for me, and she likes very bold colors for me. I could have worn like a very bright red, but I said, no, I think purple's good for this.
Yeah, very royalty.
Wow.
And of course, let's start with, you were actually born in LA, is that right?
Correct.
You kind of raised in Maryland.
Yeah, I was born in Los Angeles, and then my family, migrated to the East Coast, and I grew up in a very solid household in Potomac, on the mean streets of Potomac, Maryland. Right? It's a very nice area just outside of Washington, D.C., and went to private boys' schools and all that stuff. All this stuff. I think, Michael, you're from my area as well.
Yes, I am. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So how many times have you been to the Smithsonian?
Gosh, in elementary school, I definitely went 6 or 7 times.
Wow.
And then just on my own, probably another 10 times. I find the Smithsonian institution museums, and there's a number of them, as you know, just fascinating. I love history. And, Washington, D.C.'s just got all the culture that one needs to really it's just amazing to me. Washington, D.C.'s a great town.
Yeah. I went there once. It was the whole mall area there with the Lincoln Memorial. It's just fascinating. And then after being raised in Maryland, I understand you kind of spent some time in New York City.
Yes, I was in New York City for a bit, and then I moved over to Los Angeles and just kind of got my feet wet in the entertainment industry and appeared in television commercials and some TV shows, and it was a lot of fun. I actually left the industry for about 20, 30 years and got back into it after the pandemic because I no longer needed to go to a casting director's office or to a studio and audition or screen test. I do it all in my basement with my wife and my daughter as my readers and my camera person, and then just send everything electronically to my reps.
That is really interesting. So you're one of the success stories of the pandemic and the change in auditioning.
I don't know if I'm a success story, but I've been very, very fortunate and lucky just to be able to book work, especially in this emerging industry with the vertical miniseries. I've just been really lucky, very fortunate. I work hard and love to network, and it's so much fun being on these sets and working with very talented actors. The pressure's on all of us, and it reminds me of my days auditioning and sometimes working on daytime TV, like Days of Our Lives. It's pretty much our lives on steroids. These verticals.
Yes, I love the Wayback Machine. They know me. They know I love to put a giant coin in the Wayback Machine.
Oh yeah, yeah. No,
Let's go way back to actually, and then 90210 figured in your early days too. And who didn't want that, right?
Yeah, it was, I just got an agent in Los Angeles, and I auditioned for the casting director for this TV pilot called Class of Beverly Hills. That was the working title. And I was reading for the Jason Priestley character. But I knew that I wasn't going to get that. My agent said, they just want to see you. I was brand new into the industry. And I actually booked what they called a featured role back then, but it's now co-star. So you work 1, 2, maybe 3 days. I actually worked 3 days on the television pilot, Class of Beverly Hills, which spun into Beverly Hills 90210. And I think I'm in the very first, maybe 7 minutes into the very first pilot episode.
Yeah, you are.
Show up, and I'm lunch boy. It's a small little role.
Lunch boy, yeah.
Yeah, but I did get to meet Aaron Spelling. I actually had to read for him as well. So the casting director read me, and then about 2 months passed, and then my agent called and said, Aaron Spelling would like to see you as well. And I'm like, whoa, what? And they goes, it's in regards to your audition, but it would be a very small part. But yeah, it was a great experience. And everyone from Shannon Doherty to Jason to Ian and everyone else on the cast, Brian, and they were also nice to me. And I saw them on their very first day of production. I worked the very first day of production, and they became these big mega stars, and great show.
And you're a part of that. So when did you get a feeling that 90210 is such an iconic series?
I didn't get that feeling on the pilot episode shooting it. I didn't know what this whole thing was about, and the pilot episode is so much different, in my opinion, than the actual series that lasted, 10 years or so. Yeah. It's basically in my opinion, it was just a quick introduction to all the characters, feeling everybody out. I thought it was kind of cartoonish, the pilot. I did see it and I said, wow, I don't know. Could this really work? And could this turn into like a series? And sure enough, it was. I had no idea that it would be so iconic and be so culturally significant, and certainly not last 10 years. But I had very little to do with that. But I am proud to be in the very first few minutes of the show with some dialogue.
Yeah.
And definitely got my feet wet.
So yeah, but I'm going to go to Liz. But so do you still split your time between New York and LA, or do you? Yes.
I don't live in New York City currently, and I don't live in Los Angeles. I have places to stay, such as relatives, if I have to, in Burbank, California, and in New York City and Queens. Right now, I'm at a hotel in Jamaica, just outside of Queens, because I'm shooting a Drama Wave vertical miniseries tomorrow. But yeah, I live in the Mid-Atlantic area of the country. Mm-hmm. I just fly or drive.
Jamaica, Queens. I know they have Astoria Studios.
Yes.
Is that part of where you are, or is that?
Well, Astoria is, I think you're from this area, right?
Yeah, I'm from
okay. So yeah, Astoria Studios is very close to me, but we're shooting tomorrow at a banquet hall, which is obviously a very, very well-known location for a lot of these vertical series. Everything takes place, lots of drama takes place in banquet halls with these verticals. So that's where I'll be tomorrow in Queens.
All right. Well, Liz, you're up. Thank you.
Well, the first thing I want to say is happy belated birthday.
Oh, thank you.
We're about a week late or so, but even still.
Thank you.
Let's go all
Don't
the
ask
way
me
back.
how old I am.
I'm not planning on it, but I'm still from a t-shirt. I'm older than you, so don't worry about it. Let's go back, like Marshall likes to say, way back to the beginning. What exactly, who or what should I say, made you want to become an actor I know that you had done this, like you said, through your teens and on. But what gave you that drive to do it?
Great question. I'm an idler. I'm a dreamer. I in life, and I even after graduating high school, I had no idea what I wanted to do, but I wanted to get back to Los Angeles and just be around the entertainment industry. And I think what I liked the most out of the whole thing is being able to tell stories. So if I'm fortunate enough to book, but even on auditions, the auditions I think of as the job, not booking a role. That's icing on the cake. That's fun. But the auditions are the job to me, and just telling the story, creating a character that might be like me or might not be like me, but putting something out there that's unique about me to this character. That's what I really, really like about it. And sometimes the money's really good.
Oh, definitely, most definitely. Um, I have a question because you are kind of already gone into, Days and 90210 and all that. And like I said, I can't remember which was the first thing I saw you on because I definitely saw you on the pilot the second it came out. But I know I was also watching Days at the same time, so not sure when those dates correlated. But what did you feel after you landed a spelling which is so? I mean, Aaron's name was already so bigly, in the community, so well known. And then of course Days. Now you've landed yourself a soap too, even though they're bit parts or walk-ons type of thing. But did that, do you think, gave you a big puff of energy to go on into your career?
Oh, definitely. It definitely gives you confidence. I think it gave me confidence, especially when I was working on Days of Our Lives. It's like a vertical. You oftentimes get your script the night before, and you've got to know your dialogue. That gave me a lot of confidence as an actor. And I used all these experiences, even when I left the industry, I used all those experiences to carry me into a different profession. So I've been a salesperson for about 25 years, selling to the United States federal government.
Right.
And I use those skills, especially when I have to go into sales calls where I'm presenting a solution to a government agency. I use those skills that I've done on television when I'm fortunate enough to book to hopefully close lots of deals.
One thing I have to say, we've kind of talked a little bit about some of the stuff with New York that you used to live there and all, but you at one point, and I truly think, because this was so classic when it came out, it was so well done, I think they need to revamp the Beals advertisement for the Beals department store. I think that whole...
Oh my gosh.
Bells, yeah. Well, we have Beal Air Force Base here, so every time I see the spelling, it reverts to Beals to me, but yeah, the Beals department store. I think that would be really cool to revamp you as an older character now, your age now versus then, and kind of redo it, because like I said, it was so perfectly done and for that time, and it is Christmas season. So would you ever be wanting to do that?
I forgot all about that. Liz, I had I forgot that I even did so I did a television commercial for, I call it Bell's department, but
it is Bell's.
Oh, Bealls though, yeah. So it's.
I don't know, but that's how I was saying it in the commercial. But I did that in 1989. Now I've definitely aged myself. So 1989, that actually got me SAG-AFTRA eligible. Well, anyway, so that commercial was for a Christmas commercial where I'm a guy rapping.
Yeah,
you're a rapper or whatever.
It's 1989, so MC Hammer and Vanilla Ice maybe were the big guys, and I'm just a goofy guy rapping about free gift wrapping at Bell's, and I forgot that I even did that. Thank you.
Beware, I tend to find things that people wish they would forget. But also
I found that.
But also with New York, as we know, New York is so phenomenal in the Christmas season. Mm-hmm. Do you have a favorite memory of Christmas time being in New York from Christmas?
Just seeing the Christmas tree. Where's that, in Rockefeller Plaza?
Rockefeller Center.
Yeah. I envision when I go there every year, and I'll do it tomorrow after I wrap, if it doesn't get too late in the evening. I think it's up.
Yes,
I plan on checking it out. Yeah, I'm like Kevin McAllister, in Home Alone #2, just admiring Christmas and the tree and stuff. I think that's the most iconic thing that I remember about New York City and at Christmas time. It's such a beautiful city during this season, and this is the special time that I'm always happy to be here. LA is nice too in Christmas time, but New York City is a special touch.
You did Copland with Sylvester Stallone as you were the lead pallbearer. And Copland, at the time that it came out, had mixed reviews. I personally was one that liked it. Do you remember much about being on that set and everything that was going on? And did you get a chance to meet Stallone?
So my part is really, really small.
And it's tiny. It's tiny.
Really tiny. But I'm credited on it. It's when you're working with Robert De Niro, Sylvester Stallone, you go on and on. The greatest actors in American acting history were on the set that day that I was there.
Yeah.
That was very scary to me, but it was also so I just was watching them work and was just amazed at what they were
absorbing everything they were doing. Yeah.
Yeah. I think I got out of that. Just the most thing I got out of that role was just watching them work, and I wasn't in my trailer like I normally am when I'm not working. I actually wanted to take them all in as far as their performances. So I just stood outside and watched their work. It was amazing.
Okay. Now the question of the hour that we're actually all here for. What got you into verticals? And I know you said you kind of did this after you came out of the pandemic, but what made you decide all of a sudden to do a vertical? And did you know what they were?
Great question. No, I didn't. I had no idea. So I got back into the business right after the pandemic, got myself some reps out in Los Angeles, found out that I didn't have to go to a casting director's office most of the time. I could just do all these auditions out of my basement. So my wife and my daughter do all those things. And once I started to book work, one of my first jobs was working on a horror film in New York City. And one of the producers, Violet June, thank you, Violet, she was on set on the job. And when I got wrapped, she said, would you be interested in doing a vertical? Because I'm attached to a vertical. And this is in the spring of 2024. So they had just come to the United States around that time. Maybe they've been a few more longer months. But she said, would you be interested? And of course, as an actor, I just go, yes. But I had no idea what she was talking. I didn't want to look stupid, so I didn't say, what's a vertical? So she said,
Michael's probably going to have a lead-in question to that here in a second, which is why I was going to go to him. But go ahead and finish what you were going to say.
So that's how I got into it. I went to Los Angeles from the horror film. She said she was going to call me about it. I went to Los Angeles and shot McGregory Frederick's The Deal, where I play Officer John Nelson in a high-speed chase in Los Angeles. And when I was in LA, she sent me a text saying, are you available the following week? And I said, of course, yes, I am. And I show up on set. It was with Armand. I always mess his last name up. Armand Procacci, a great actor. He and I had our scenes, and I just had a few lines. And then when I showed up on set, I was like, going, whoa, this is like so crazy. Like, we're in like on location in Manhattan at an office building, and there's no trailers. The cast and the crew and background all together, and we're going through 20 pages. And I said, whoa, this is reminding me of like my daytime work that I did in LA years ago, but it was like on steroids. And I liked it. I just loved it. And then when I wrapped that one day on that vertical, like on my way home to my house in the mid-Atlantic area of this country, she said, would you like to be a major supporting actor on this vertical called Crush on the American Princess? And I said, what would I play? And she said, be an FBI agent. And I said, absolutely. This is a lot of fun. So that's how I got into it. I owe a lot to Violet regarding, how I got into this business.
Okay. And Michael, I am going to toss it to you because I did that way is leading to the question I know you're going to ask.
Yes, yes. And I just wanted to throw this up because you had asked this and you were asking it, and this came through, and I just want to throw it up again. Jen had a very similar question. So Jen here, what first inspired you to pursue acting? You went for that. How did you eventually connect with verticals? Now that was the answer. So I just want to throw that up. And it was just like, I couldn't believe it. You were talking and I went, oh, that's the question that just came up. But,
you know, and I got by the way, Jen is such a supportive young lady that we've chatted. She's a great friend, and thank you, Jen.
That's good. And then we have this one from Clint Mesley. Congratulations on all your success so far, Kevin. Can you talk a little about who were some of your acting mentors and actors that inspired you?
Gosh, great question, Clint. You know, I did take some acting classes at a small school called the Maryland Academy of Dramatic Arts. And Ralph Tabakin, who was Barry Levinson's Lucky Charm, Ralph was the acting teacher there. And I would say that he was one of the greatest mentors that I had as far as understanding the industry, how to, you know, build a character from a script. So Ralph Tabakin, who appeared in every one of Barry Levinson's movies up until he passed. Ralph passed. I would say he was my best mentor.
That is cool. And then Jen just says, thank you, Kevin.
Oh, you're welcome, Jen.
Yeah.
And thank you, Clint.
Yeah. Now, here's the question that Liz knew I was going to ask, because I generally mostly ask almost everyone that has done verticals. And you kind of set it all up. You were approached saying, did you want to do a vertical? And you played dumb and said, oh, yeah, that'd be great. And you didn't know what it was.
I didn't know.
But when you came home and you had to tell your wife what you had done, and you said that you'd done a vertical, or she had heard that, and you didn't know what they were, so you couldn't really say anything to her.
Yeah.
But what did you say to her at home? How did you explain it to her?
I told my wife and my daughter that I did this crazy TV micro drama that I think is going to be seen by a lot of people worldwide. It's a small little role, but now I'm getting booked on a larger role. And it was just so crazy because people were being slapped and beaten and thrown to the ground, and
in a banquet hall.
Yeah.
And you know, my wife and my daughter are not in the industry, and they just think it was just crazy nuts. And now they're behind all of my auditions that I do, and the characters that I book are a lot of the characters that I related to them and said, yeah, these guys are beating up people. That's what I kind of do from time to time. It's just, it was incredible to them, and it's still incredible to me that, you know, that I have a part in this. So I'm very grateful. But yeah, we still shake our heads to this day.
I bet. And how many verticals have you been in so far? Are you keeping count, or have you lost?
I am keeping count for you guys. Tomorrow will be my 21st. And keep in mind, so a lot of your guests are the big actors.
Oh yeah. No,
Yeah,
we have people with the small parts too. We grab everybody. So
okay, I there's no rhyme or reason. I'll get selected sometimes for the major supporting. So I was Hunter Cole's father in Lion's Son, and Noah Fernley and Mariah Moss. I was the FBI agent in Crush on the Unwanted Princess. But a lot of these verticals are just very, very cameo-like. So I'll come in for 1 or 2 or maybe 3 days, make a mark, and then just leave. That seems to be the pattern for me right now, and I'm happy with that. They tell me I bring in an audience, so I'll take that. But I just love to be on set with these actors and with the film and the filmmakers and the crew, and they're just great.
what were your feelings when, I'm sure you got it when you were like on screen camera the first time, and they said you're not close enough? Does that kind of get you?
It happens all the time. You have to be so still. You have to be so still and so relaxed, but still be very intense. This is what I try to do. That's just my opinion. But yeah, the camera's right on you. I mean, there's different coverages, but I know when the camera's right on me, and I have to be so still and so intense, but still relaxed. That's the art of acting in these things. Very melodramatic, but still very real. And it's something that I hope I get better and better with each job. I try to.
Yeah, I mean, I've noticed. I mean, it's like it's just that narrow little frame.
Yeah.
And you have to stay still, and you can't move at all or you'll be out.
That's one of the things in your earlier question I forgot to say. That's the other thing. I told my wife and my daughter, I said, yeah, the cameras are like they're shot like this. I always got vertical and horizontal confused up until I started working verticals. The camera's like this, not like that.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I think that was a big shock. But that meant to me when I saw that, I said, okay, I really got to be still because there's not a lot of movement.
No, there's really not. And I'll throw this question out to you. It's probably too early, but I don't care. Where would you like to be in 5 years, professional wise?
I love what I'm doing right now. I wouldn't want anything to change. I love being on these sets. I feel so blessed and fortunate, and I'm grateful for every booking that I get, whether it's in the vertical industry or working in films. I would like to, and I know my reps are working hard in trying to find opportunities outside of the vertical industry. Obviously, everyone's trying to do that, but I love working in the microdrama industry. It's such an evolving business, and it's red hot, as everyone knows.
It is, yeah, it is.
It's red hot, and you get seen by millions of people. So, in the next 5 years, I like to keep things the way they are. I'm extremely grateful. Maybe it'll change, but I don't really have a need to I don't have a need to have anything change. The way they are right now is perfect.
Would you rather stay as the supporting characters, or would you like to venture trying to do a lead a couple of times?
I think Jen's asked me this too. I don't see myself as a lead in verticals, especially because of my age.
25?
Yeah, 25.
Mm-hmm.
I told my wife the other day and my daughter, and they frowned. I could qualify for senior citizen discount at International House of Pancakes. So I did work a vertical called Falling for You, where it was older actors being the lead. So it happened. I was the lead villain in that, or one of the lead villains. Another actress was also, she's great. But I like supporting. And I like these minor supporting roles where I just come in and cause mayhem and get out. I love that. And they sometimes they fly me out to LA to do it. And I'm very grateful for that.
Well, that's good. I'll go over to Marcia now. So,
yeah. Speaking of your some of your more outrageous, even in the world of verticals, things can be just totally off the wall. Titles of verticals are so funny. I'm relatively now. It's been about a year.
It's been about a year now, Marcia. You're not that new anymore.
But it still surprises me. Some of the titles still make me laugh. Do you still get amusement out of some of the titles of the?
Oh yeah, every time. I can't release the one I'm working. First of all, I can't even remember some of the titles. But they
change them too. So yeah.
Exactly. Oh yeah, they change it. But I love the titles. And in fact, when they release and then I share them with my industry friends, they get a kick out of we all laugh at the titles. Yeah, I mean, what can I say? nutty. It's crazy. That's part of the charm of the vertical microdrama industry is the titles. I think if I looked at my IMDb profile, you just get like a chuckle out of them. I just can't remember them, but yes, they are hilarious.
I mean,
The one that I did, the last one I did in Los Angeles, it just dropped last week. It's called Grandma Destroyed Her Heir.
oh my gosh!
Oh,
you were
that
reading
one,
my
yes,
mind.
that one.
You
That
were reading
one, now
my
again,
mind.
that's a cameo role for me. So they just flew me out, and I just came in and did a day, and then I went back to the East Coast. But that one just is crazy, violent. So it's difficult to watch. I mean, I don't really watch the whole thing because it's just so intense for my brain will explode. But that one had a crazy title. It had a crazy working title, which I won't release because people might find that offensive. But that one I think that's one of the nuttier ones.
You were reading my mind, as I said, because when I was going down your list, my eye went to that one, and I thought, oh, I got to take a look at this one, and my eyes just flew open.
Rebecca Ritz was Grandma. I've never seen a character light up the screen like she does. Tina Brock does as well. Yeah, but
yes.
Both of those ladies are great actresses, character actresses, and I don't know how they do it. But yeah, that was. I was on set, and I think we're at a funeral for the baby.
Yes.
And it's just unbelievable what she did on set.
And when I think you're right. That was a difficult one for me to watch as well, to go all the way through, and that's okay because there's something for everybody. I'm finding in the world of microdramas and verticals.
Yeah, I think the trend with me is that I'm working a lot of the violent ones, and I get feedback from viewers from time to time. And a lot of them have said to me that they would like to see me in more gentle ones, but I have no control. The ones I'm doing right now are very, very violent. I'm usually playing the heavy, although from time to time I play the good guy too. But most of the time, I think about 90% I'm playing the bad guy. And
we need you in some more comedy too.
Comedy. I love to do comedy. Yeah, but I one that's going to be released in just a few weeks, and I think one of the actresses that I work with is going to be on your show next week. I'm actually being tortured and lit on fire, and
oh my,
yeah. I can't remember what the name of it is. Oh, it's on my thing. In love with my mom's. Yeah, in love with my mom's boyfriend. I think that's the one with. I'm just tied up, and the lead throws a cigarette at me, and I got gasoline on me, and I just burn alive.
Well, that kind of reminds me of Grandma Destroyed Her Heir, because there was that kind of element in there too, with the threat of
violence,
dastardly things happening.
Yes. These can become very, very ultra dramatic. I try to make it as real as possible and not have too much of a cartoonery type of thing. Just make it real. And the writing is, it can be good, and I just try to make it as believable as possible. But yeah, they're a lot of fun. The roles were a lot of fun.
When you get a script, what is the first thing that you do? What is your approach to your script?
I'll read it through, and I'll try to figure out what is going on with not only myself, but more importantly, what's going on with the other characters. So I try not to focus on my character. I try to focus on the other characters surrounding the whole scene, or the scenes, or the whole story. It's crazy. It's so unusual to me when I look at what's going on in these 2-minute episodes. It's just there's so much activity, so much things happening. But I try to just create a character based upon, the relationship that I'm having with the other actor or actress or actors, and I focus in on them versus my character, and I try to bring that to set with as much chemistry and as much connection as I can bring on camera.
Hmm. When I look into an actor, I kind of like to look at what their hidden talents or not so hidden talents are. And one of yours that caught my eye was, and you kind of mentioned it before, was stunt driving.
Yes,
Now that's kind of a specialized thing to put on your resume that you can do.
I had to do it. Thank you for asking. So in a film called The Deal, which was directed by McGregory Frederic, I had to do my own stunt driving in a high-speed chase in Los Angeles, California, chasing after bad guys. So it's released. You can see my clip. I think I have it on. I proudly presented on my IMDb
Yes.
profile. It was so much fun, but that was heavy stunt driving, and I was doing the driving. There was no stunt driver at all. We had stunt coordinators on set, but that's where I had to learn, how to safely at high speed, chase the bad guys and have other actors in my police car and do it safely. And so I qualify, I think, as a stunt driver from The Deal, the movie The Deal, which, by the way, is being shopped around as a pre-sequel or a proof of concept for a pilot that McGregory Frederic and an executive producer of Emily in Paris from Netflix, they're shopping The Deal as a potential proof of concepts for a pilot called Cases. And I may or may not be attached to that. We'll see. It's a long chat, but I'm proud of that.
I can definitely see that synopsis working. Definitely.
Yeah. I think so. We'll see how that goes. But it's big time when you have an executive producer of a very successful Netflix show called Emily in Paris attached to it. So we'll see what happens. But either way, whether I'm attached to it or not, I'm proud to be part of The Deal, and that's where I got my stunt driving. I'm happy to do some more if it's safe and someone wants to book me.
Wow. And to push that a little bit further, stunt driving and other types of verticals, you were in a kind of a Western, but not really a Western. Would you like to do more like period pieces, things like that?
Well, yeah. My wife has 2 horses. In real life, we have 2 horses, and she's a skilled equestrian. I am not, but I can horseback ride safely, and I should be doing, I think, more auditions and maybe some bookings of jobs riding horseback, cowboy type of thing. Yeah, no, that's a good question, Marsha.
Because I'm looking at now, auditions are done via video. So how do you do that with skills? You say you can you put in a clip of you riding a horse, or what would
Yes. Yeah, that's usually first of all, my reps, my management and my agent out in LA, they'll pitch me based on my skill set. And if the casting director then wants to see an audition, usually they ask me to talk about it in a slate before I actually do the actual scene or scenes that's required. And you pitch it, and sometimes I have to go to my wife's barn where the horses are stabled, and if the casting director needs to see that I can ride horseback, I'll just go on our horses and ride away and
demonstrate
pictures. Yeah, you got to sell yourself. You get there. I try to be as versatile as a human being as I possibly can. I like to think that I'm a great golfer, and so I have golf on my resume. But I'm a duffer. I can't play golf. We'd love to be able to say that I'm like a Tiger Woods, but I'm not. But as actors, we sell ourselves as best as we possibly can.
And you've done so many verticals now. I think you're more recognizable than you may think you are.
Really?
Have people recognized you and wanted to snap a selfie or anything?
No, I mean, my wife says it happens a lot, but I don't see that. At all. Like I said, I play like the smaller parts. No, I might be immune to this, but I just go about my life in a normal way, and I don't see anybody coming up to me and saying, "Oh, you were like," no.
Because a lot of times the smaller, say, roles are delicious for fans to watch.
Oh, really?
And so that kind of sticks in my mind, maybe even not maybe even as much as a lead does, because like, I saw this person, he came in and did this, and I'm like, wow, okay, I'm gonna remember him.
I don't talk about you. I when I go to the airport, or when I go to the grocery store, or when I go get a haircut or whatever, I don't talk about this stuff. I try to change the subject as much as possible. You know, most of I know my fans, my friends and family, they know what I do, but we have other things to talk about, for sure. But no, I don't have that problem like Hunter and Noah and Mariah and all the others have. I'm in the shadows, I think. But I try to do really important work. Performance wise, I try to deliver for the client and production, and that's what I'm really proud about, and just building the relationships with them for potential future stuff. I love auditioning. Like I said, I think that's the job. And if I book something, whether it's small, medium, or a larger role, I'm happy.
And one of the things I really like about our show is that, we see villains and roles and whatnot, and then we come on and you come on and you're so nice and wonderful, and it's really, really cool. So
thank you. The roles I've played in some of these, I would never want to be like the characters I play. Some of them are really bad, and it takes a lot to get to that level when you're on set and the cameras are rolling, to get that nastiness out. It takes a lot out of me, but once I walk off set, I'm like back to Kevin.
Okay, we going to Liz? I think
going to Liz.
Yeah. You have actually been, I think it was in 2024, 2 different music videos, and I have got to actually ask you about Kill Switch's one, because when I was listening to it, I swear to God, and I don't know, if you know much of the heavier metal rock music, but their whole one, the way the video was shot, which you were very adamant in it, shall we say, and then just their whole sound was a lot like Five Finger Death Punch. So how did you come about with this? And you're laughing. So do you know the band, or?
No, no. So it's an age thing with me. You're a young lady. Tom Flynn, who does a lot. He directs a lot of these music videos. He's out of Long Island, New York. He asked if I would be interested in doing a music video, and I said sure. And then he said it's for Kill Switch Engage, and I didn't know who Kill Switch Engage is or the other band, but that's because I'm just from a different generation. Black Sabbath is something I know about. But
hold, stop right there. First of all, you are younger than I am. I was born in the 60s, okay? I'm not going to date myself any further than that. I grew up on Black Sabbath. I had my own band in the 80s. It was my kids who got me into Five Finger Death Punch, because they are a whole group that are veterans that came out of the Iraqi War. Okay, so no, they're younger than we are, and you're much younger than I am. So no.
I don't know about that. Anyway, I didn't know who Kill Switch Engage was. Thank you for sharing that. But that was so cool. I never met the band, so I was just doing my scenes where I'm playing what I'm playing. I'm a tyrant, a world tyrant, controlling
stuff. Yeah,
that was so much fun. But the band wasn't there, so we shot in a studio in Long Island. Right. And it was just one day, and then when you see the finished product and you see how many views of that particular music video, I haven't looked at it lately, but when it first came out, it was like 250,000 views or something like that in the first week or something. They're big time. Kill Switch Engage.
They are big time.
Now I know who they are, and I have ultimate respect for them, and I'm just proud to be part of that music video. And I love music videos. I would love to do more.
So speaking of that, what is your music genre then that you particularly care for?
I like all kinds of music. I would say that the heavy metal from the 1970s is something that I always love. I love Van Halen as well. But I also like the old timers like Dean Martin and Frank Sinatra. Just going back to the crooning days. I also like David Cassidy.
Okay.
R.I.P. Partridge Family. I grew up with that show, and I thought he was just one of these great pop artists that I still listen to this day in my car driving up to New York or whatever might be the case. But yeah, I like easygoing stuff, and then sometimes some Sabbath.
Yep. Well, there is absolutely nothing wrong with Ozzy. Period.
No, I was sad to hear his passing.
Oh, I know. It was nasty. But I have a question for you. You have been a interviewer. You have been on game show as a host. So how does it feel now that we've flipped the script on you and you're in the hot seat now and we're the interviewers?
It's a little scary for me. I did some work for Buena Vista Television a long time ago, working on their game show pilots. But this is completely different. So yeah, the roles are reversed. I don't do a lot of these interviews because I feel, because my parts are so much different than the larger matinee idols that do these vertical micro series. But it's a little intimidating. But you guys are fun. You're fun, and I like. I love to interact with the fans if they'll have me, and this is a great platform. So I'm happy to do this, but it's a little scary, but it's fun too. You guys are pussycats. Oh, can I talk about really quickly because I don't know how much time I have a film coming out called Choleric. Yes. This film called Choleric is directed by Sebastian Fabris. And it's about a former child actress who is feeling the pressure of doing her own stunts in a new film or TV show that she's being pitched by her manager. But then I come into the storyline as a very disturbed man who had a relationship with her, but we broke up, and then I got sucked into very evil things, and now I'm coming back to her in a haunting way. It's called Choleric, and it should be released in the next few months, and I'm very proud of that. I can't talk too much about it because it's still in post-production, but we shot that over a span of a couple of weeks, and I'm excited about that.
I'm glad you touched on that because that actually was one of my next questions. So I'm just going to finish up with one last question, and I'm going to turn it over to Michael. Personally, for me, it's actually not a question. It's actually more of a question for you, per se. I'm a huge psychological and thriller fan, and I have been looking everywhere, and I know it's been released everywhere for Unveiling Shadow. Where is it? The full 24 minutes of it. I can't find it. I can find it little blips here and there, but I can't find the whole thing.
I can't either. So, but that's Violet June's film. So she's the one who got me into verticals. Okay. She was attached to a horror film that I was saying earlier on, and then she cast me in A Heartbeat Away with Kira Wisely and Armand. Yeah. And then she cast me and Paige Marie Smeltzer. Paige is the star, who she works all the time in these verticals. I don't know the status. I think it's still in a pitch status where the film is released or it's completed, but it's being pitched around
a distributor or whatever.
Okay.
Yeah, it's turnaround. So, but working with Violet is so sweet. I love working with her. And again, I have everything to thank. I thank Violet for everything, and Sebastian as well, Emma Gregory.
Well, that is one I.
I'll let you know about Unveiling Shadow if I hear it. I just know that it's one step away from a contract being signed, but I don't have any other details. But it's completed post-production, probably in turnaround.
Yeah, awesomeness. Because like I said, not only I saw the trailer, but bits and pieces that had been released. I'm like,
Mhm.
where is the full, half hour of this? Because this looks phenomenal.
Yeah,
But
no, Paige is great in it. And that trailer has gotten a lot of feedback positively. It's just a great trailer, but I haven't seen the film.
mhm. Okay, on that note, before I hand you to Michael, I just wanted to say thank you so much for taking your time to do this with us.
Oh,
We
my pleasure.
really appreciate that.
Thank you,
So,
Liz.
Michael, it be yours.
Okay, I'll just going to go immediately over to Marcia for her final questions and um,
All right.
whatever. Yes. So
Well, you talked about auditioning or being a game show host. What game shows do you like? Are there some game shows that you like to watch?
Yeah, I like Let's Make a Deal and The Price is
Always.
Right. So we're not talking about Monty Hall or Bob Barker anymore, but I like how they carried over that tradition of those two shows, and they seem to keep the theme of those shows.
Yeah.
But it's just new game show hosts. I think they do a great job. Obviously, they're great. Those are two shows that when I have time, I'll just escape and watch to this day. And I watch the old reruns of Price is Right with Bob Barker as well on one of those cable
I
channels.
do too.
And I,
Bob
Yeah.
Barker
I
was
love
the
Match Game.
master.
Do you watch Match
Oh, I
Game
love Match Game.
with Gene Rayburn? And Charles Nelson Riley and Brett Summers and Richard Dawson, of course.
So
That's
I'm
my favorite.
thinking, if you were going to be on a game show as a contestant, what might you choose? Any show that's now on or not on
Um,
anymore?
I think I see myself on The Price is Right. I see myself, so I can see myself. In the old days, they shot that at CBS Television City, and I can see myself lining up with the contestants or the prospective contestants and being interviewed. And I think that I can be like an exuberant kind of gentleman and maybe win over the producers, and then being called down by Johnny Olson. Come on down, you are the next contestant on The Price is Right. I see myself on The Price is Right. And
Hey, maybe do a cartwheel coming down.
no, not at my age.
I watched it today.
Oh, did you? Yeah, that's my favorite show, along with Match Game. Match Game is a tough show for me to do because I try to play along with what Richard Dawson would come up with, and I don't come up with his answers. But I think Price is Right, I would do very well.
Mm-hmm. So what else are you watching? What are you watching? We're watching you, but what are you watching?
I love Landman with Billy Bob. I think that's a great show. And then blanking on the Sylvester Stallone TV series.
Oh, Tulsa.
Tulsa
no,
King.
Yeah, Tulsa King. Yeah.
Those are my two favorite shows right now. I love that. Those suck me in. I was on a flight from Los Angeles to Dulles International, and I watched like the first season of Landman on the flight, and it was great, and I love everything he does. And then with Sylvester Stallone, obviously with my past with him, and then that show that he does is just so well written, and he's so cool, and I think they're both well produced shows.
Mm-hmm. And my last question, okay, so holiday season, what's your favorite holiday film to watch? Maybe.
Well, I want to say Home Alone. Home Alone.
Home
Home Alone. Not the oldie.
I probably know that by heart.
Yeah, and the name Kevin.
Mm-hmm.
I've sometimes felt like Macaulay Culkin's character in my past, so I relate to him, and I think that's my favorite show. Always puts a smile on my face.
Yeah, I don't know how old your daughter is, but I don't know if you've seen Christmas Chronicles. It's on Netflix.
No, I haven't seen it.
Kurt Russell is in it, and it's a heartwarming story. It is, it's really good. I don't recommend a lot of Christmas stuff because there's so much. She might, and you might enjoy that together with your wife. It's cool.
I love Kurt Russell. Kurt Russell's in one of my favorite films, Used Cars.
Yes.
Yes.
Russell is one of my faves as well. Absolutely. He plays Santa in it.
Oh, no
So
kidding. Oh, I'll have to check that out. I probably should have already seen this before.
Christmas Chronicles, yeah.
Thank you, Marsha. I'm writing this down right now. Christmas Chronicles.
Okay. And thank you.
Thank you.
I'm going to echo Liz for being with us. You have charmed us all. Thank you.
Oh, that's very sweet of both, all three of you. Thank you very much. It's my, I'm very honored to be here and take up all the time that we've had to talk about. And thank you very much to the fans that watch me as well. I'm humbled. I'm grateful.
Did you want to rebuttal anything, Liz, that was just mentioned, or?
Yes. Did you see me?
I knew it. I saw it. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Marcia, how dare you say that there is no such thing as Christmas overload on movies? For your information, I have 400 hour DVR controls. I have those jam-packed, every one of them. Plus, I'm constantly watching either on the computer or on my phone a different Christmas movie than the ones I've recorded.
Whoa.
And, yeah, I start watching on the 28th of October. And even if we have Christmas in July come around, occasionally I'll hit one of those.
Dang.
Don't say there's no such thing as
Overload for Christmas.
You know what? I got to tell you about overload Christmas. I'll say this. In our house, we have, I think it's, my wife will correct me, but I'm pretty sure we have 14 regular sized Christmas trees all throughout our house.
Wow.
We take Christmas really seriously.
That's impressive.
Just
I
like
knew
that.
I liked you.
There was this Christmas movie, The 12 Trees of Christmas. See, I know Liz. You got them beat.
Yeah.
Yeah, by a couple.
All right.
Well,
Good
Kevin, I'd
job.
just like to echo, thank you for coming, that we've had a blast.
Yeah.
And I knew Liz wanted to rebuttal that, so I could just see her
Good
face.
call on that.
Yeah, but I know, the subjects that are dear to everyone's heart of the hosts. So
That's good.
So that makes it nice. But
You
thank you
read every
again.
book. It's very
Thank
nice.
you again. And I'm going to throw up the comments thing. Jen says, thank you, Kevin.
Thank you, Jen.
And Clint says, great job, Kevin.
Wow, I got like a fan club there. Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You've got a fan club, and it's probably, it's probably going to increase. So that'll be nice. But for everyone that's there listening live, thank you for coming. If you're watching us later, try to catch us live, and you can ask the guests hopefully some good questions. But everyone take care, and we'll see you again. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.